So RJ Barrett just got himself a long ass extension. What does that extension mean? Doesn't mean shit. They're still trading him. Okay. So basically, it's been reported that the Jazz, from the Mark Berman of the New York Post, the Post has reported that the Jazz are after 4 unprotected picks, and the Knicks are looking to give up just 2 with 3 conditional picks, basically 5 picks total. Not having Barrett in the deal would not seem to be a deal breaker after him signing an extension makes him ineligible for a trade. Sources contend unprotected picks are more important to Utah, which reportedly is after the Lakers' 2027 and 2029 picks, and what could end up being a 3-team deal. And guess what? Okay, I do think this is a team with a lot of skill. Okay, and with that being said, I think you gotta look at this. It's also been reported by Adrian Wojnarowski that once the Knicks committed to RJ Barrett's extension, management became resigned to the fact that there's a much more difficult path to an offseason deal to acquire Mitchell. Nevertheless, neither Utah nor New York is ruling out restarting the talks before the start of training camp in late September. While the Jazz Knicks trade talks intensified and the gap on the deal points that included Barrett and the package tightened over the weekend and into Monday, there remained a gulf on reaching a trade for Mitchell, sources said. Once the Knicks and Jazz exhausted discussions Monday night, Rose and Duffy finalized their extension eligible to players out of the 2019 draft class in the name of RJ Barrett. And the Knicks did include Barrett in trade proposals for Mitchell, sources said, which is why the process to complete the extension lasted several additional weeks. Barrett was a staple of several different trade variations discussed, but hurdles remained Monday about the total of unprotected first-round picks and the inclusion of Knicks guard Quentin Grimes. Nevertheless, the Jazz greatly value Barrett as a part of any Mitchell deal with New York, and deal without him would require the Knicks to relinquish far more draft assets than they've shown a willingness to do so, sources said. The Jazz aren't seriously engaged elsewhere on a Mitchell deal now, sources said, which makes the real possibility that he could still be on the roster for the start of training camp. That seems like a lot of poker going on, though. There's no place for Donovan to go, and the Knicks still can't get him. And the Jazz have coveted RJ Barrett since the start of the trade talks, and with him basically be off the table, including a poison pill provision that makes it difficult to trade a player on a rookie extension before the extension takes effect. Not having Barrett in the deal would not be a deal breaker. Like I said, it just, unprotected points are really important for them. So the Jazz have given the Knicks multiple opportunities to come to an agreement with the variations of deals. So it's just weird where it's at. Okay, so I want to hear your thoughts. Let's keep talking. So the whole thing with RJ Barrett right now is that, look, there's no reason, only one guy who's had a poison pill in his contract has been traded, and that is Devin Harris. So no, I don't think he's going to be traded. RJ Barrett, it makes no sense. So how did they do this deal? Like I said, it's going to be around Evan Fournier or Derrick Rose. I talked to Mike Verkanoff, former beat writer of the New York Knicks for The Athletic, now, a national writer and basketball business writer for The Athletic. And he basically said that he always expected this to be sort of a deal that was probably going to be around Derrick Rose, because he was the easiest. The Jazz want expiring contracts. The Jazz want expiring contracts with picks. Nothing less, nothing more. So, at this point, I think if you look at the deal that they can offer, I think honestly, their best deal probably is going to be being able to offer a mix of probably guys like Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley, maybe Miles McBride in there, with Derrick Rose and 4 to 5 unprotected picks is looking like it's going to cost, at the very least. I don't know if that's a price they want to pay, but that seemingly is going to be the price that is going to be needed to be paid. As this is something right now, Bobby Marks said the poison pill mechanics, basically, it would have to be a deal of it's weird because of the poison pill if they trade it. Example, Barrett Fournier, Grimes, it would be like average of extension plus current contract is 26.2, which would make the deal $46.5 million of incoming salary. So if they were trading for Mitchell, they would have to also take on like Mike Conley or another contract. There's ways around it, but it'll make it harder.